Hello and welcome, Mr. Bushman, to our wonderful interview. Thank you so much for joining us for a mental health interview about the resources at Reagan. So first things first, can you introduce yourself and what you do at Reagan?
Sure. My name's Dan Bushman. I'm a school counselor, and as most of us who are at the school know, we're broken up by alpha order, meaning for me, I have last names M through RO that I focus my energy on. But we all help each other out. It's kind of nice because we get to follow families throughout the years that they're at Reagan. For me, I had a lot of students when I worked at Wedgwood, so I get to actually see them move on even to higher grade levels. So it's a kind of a cool system, and that's what I do.
Cool. That's awesome. Thank you very much. Alrighty, then real quick for a fun icebreaker. If you could be any animal, what would you be and why?
Hmm. I would, okay, and I want to preface everything I'm about to say by saying I'm going to say I want to be like a dog, but I am not a dog owner. So I don't want to say this like I'm a big dog person, not against dogs, but I think their lifestyle seems awesome. Like they kind of just wander around and you pet it and you give them food and water and they kind of do their thing. They don't have a lot of responsibilities on a whole. So I think that's kind of a nice gig for a little while, maybe in my retirement.
Sounds wonderful. I would love to be a dog as well. What type of dog would you be?
I think maybe like a golden retriever, one of those kind people, caring.
Mm-hmm. They're the happiest ones. I respect that answer.
For sure.
Nice, nice. Alrighty. Then moving on to the next question. So we identified who you are and what you do at Reagan, but are there any clubs that you are in charge of or projects such as Hope Squad or anything like that?
Sure, she just threw it out. Well, I am also an advisor of Hope Squad, which is an awesome group that I think a lot of students are going to learn a lot more about in the next coming weeks and months because we're really kicking it off right now. But it's a group of students who are really out there to be caring people who are going to listen and be supportive of their classmates. I'm also part of the peer health education team. So we've started that club this year. If anyone's interested, you can always email me and I'd be happy to join you or add you to our Google Classroom where we help educate students around the building about health-related topics. And then just in general, I try to support in a variety of different areas, but those are the main clubs.
Beautiful. I love how involved you are. How can students contact you? So speaking of all these wonderful clubs, how do you think the best way would be to contact you?
So especially in this virtual world, email is a great way to start. And I say that because I don't want to have all my conversations with students through just electronic means, but I think to reach out to initially do that. For those students who are really comfortable with the Google Calendar, obviously that's a great way. All staff members have those office hours, and I feel like, especially in this virtual world, it's so necessary for people to actually like organize themselves and set those kind of appointments and spend some time sitting down, not just with counselors, but with their teachers or other staff members as well. I do have a phone number too. 304-6165 is the office number that you can reach, and I check those messages every day.
Do you have a preference between office hours or email?
To me, no, because being a counselor, my hours are a little more flexible than even you guys as students. You guys are pretty set each day in that morning with your classes, where I'm a little bit more available. So if a kid has a study hall or something like that, I can work that out and schedule a virtual appointment or something at other times. But that's why sometimes an email, for me at least, seems like a good start to kind of say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. When's a good time that we can meet? Obviously, if 2 to 3 o'clock works for students, that's a great time because those are office hours for everybody.
What is the best advice you have just for like students in general?
I think that's a great question, Joy. I think my one big thing I'd like to kind of hit off is that this is a very difficult time. I'm talking to a lot of students that are really struggling. Like this is not normal, and sitting in front of screens for 5, 6, 7 hours a day is not normal, like things for people to do. And so I think we do have an increase in depression, anxiety, and those other kind of things that are going on, just those feelings of feeling kind of isolated. And my advice would be, we aren't stuck where we can't walk outside. Yes, it's going to get colder soon, so we need to enjoy this weather as we can, but we need to breathe the fresh air, get out of our seat, do something physically fit. And I get everyone's an athlete maybe, or however you want to say it, but everyone can walk, do some jumping jacks, do some stretches, do something to get yourself out of that normal, boring routine of sitting in front of a screen and kind of, get that mind bursting a little bit, doing some stuff that you really enjoy, something you're passionate about. It doesn't always have to be school related.